Interesting, they call you the healer's healer. So as opposed to, as we spoke briefly about people that go to therapy, they can end up being, not that there's not a place for it, but they can end up kind of being reliant on this outside source for healing they could do on themselves. And whereas you're trying to give people the toolbox with which to analyze and heal themselves.
Yes, I believe in that. Yeah. I believe that I'm the healer's assistant.
Right.
My client's the healer because you're going to heal yourself. And so for me, when I come up with, like I did timeless quantum repatterning, which helps get rid of the egoic subconscious limitations, contracts, treatments, agreements that we've made through all our lifetimes. Why not give that to a client? I'll take a client through it maybe once or twice and say, here you go.
Well, so when do we make these contracts? In between lives, or?
We make them before we come down. Yeah, a lot of times you'll make the agreement before you come down, or you'll have them for many years or many lifetimes. I mean, you'll have made them in many lifetimes.
What during?
These are my experiences.
During your life, you make them, or is it always when you're?
I think before you. I believe a lot of it's made before you even come down.
Okay.
So you've made these.
So where do we go after we die?
Where do we go? We go to Infinite Source.
Right.
Yeah, we get to join the Infinite Source Collective. And it's all a process of whether you want to experience it again. If you want to come to Earth again,
So that's the free will again.
Yeah, and I do believe that we do have some sort of commitment of, we have a list of what we want to learn.
Yeah.
Or experience. I mean, it's hard to think somebody wants to experience poverty, but this is all like an experience. And a lot of people will say it's so Infinite Source or God can experience it. Well, if we're part of God, then God is experiencing it, but you've also chose that. And it's hard for people. I had a client ask me, she said, can you do me a favor and channel and ask if I asked to have this cancer? That was a hard one for me because what do I say to her? She goes, I want you to ask my higher self, because she didn't want to ask the question, if I chose this. And the reason why they had her, and so of course they did say, yes, you chose this path. This was the path you chose. She wanted to know if it was the path that she chose, but it was because they wanted her to use her body to figure it out. And she was somebody who was having me channel, her guide was Saint Germain. And so she wanted me to channel, she didn't want to do the channeling. So she wanted me to channel Saint Germain, the questions she would have for him. So I would answer the questions, and she had questions about her DNA, junk DNA, because she wanted to fix everything. This is many years ago. And so, but they did tell her, yes, this was the path that you chose. And there was a big, long pause for her right there.
Because often when these bad things happen to us, they can be opportunities for you to have insight, or if someone does something bad to you, for instance, it could be, if you said whatever in your previous, in between lives, you said, I want to learn about forgiveness.
Right.
For you to learn about forgiveness, someone has to do something bad to you.
Yeah.
So actually you can be, and I've done this experiment on myself when I'm like, okay, people have done bad things to me, people have stolen money, I've been caught, people have done terrible things. And then if I can always tell that, like, phrase in my head, I'm grateful to that person for, and then you can always finish that sentence.
Yeah.
You can always be like, you know what, actually, when that thing happened, I reacted like that and something really good came out of it. But that good thing wouldn't have come out had that bad thing not happened.
Yeah.
So when you zoom out from it, you might think, oh, this is bad. But if you look at any series or whatever, it's like something bad happened to happen in the episode 2 for that other cool thing to happen in episode 5, which, then when you start looking at it like that, and back to what we were saying earlier about non-judgmental, not good or bad, sort of not looking at things in the duality way and just sort of being neutral. That's almost looking at it from above, like a macro thing that,
Yep.
okay, well, that bad thing is going to bring something good. And I always have an expression that I use with my team, and I will say things like, just God's plan. It's all
Yeah.
part of God's plan.
Yeah.
And this bad thing, and eventually it does show up to be,
It ends up better than what
it
it would
ends
have,
up
right?
better.
Right.
Yeah.
I always say everything's working to my advantage. No
Yeah,
matter
yeah.
what it looks like, it's working to my advantage. And I do look at everything as an experience. This is an experience, and it gives us the wisdom and knowledge for whatever's coming down the pike. Whatever else we want to experience, it's there.
Yeah.
But I do think, and I would say this to everybody, frequency and your feelings are key of anything you want to manifest. It's keeping a high frequency, getting rid of those low feelings like shame, guilt, anger, hurt, all of those things. And start with the forgiveness thing of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's a huge one. And just plow through it and keep yourself, wake up in the morning, have gratitude, and just say, I'm a happy person. I'm filled with joy, or I'm filled with gratitude. And I know some people will go, yeah, that's cliche, but it really, seriously,
Works.
it works. It works. I love myself. I trust myself. I
And then
value
you
myself. I honor myself.
And then you start to see the world that way. Like, I always think of it as you can have two people look at the same picture or even have the same experience and react in completely different ways. Like, you can put them in the same hotel and some people will be like, this is the best trip of my life. And someone else will find everything wrong about it. You know?
Exactly.
And so much of it is how you are choosing to react to around the things that are happening to you. And the self-talk which you have about it, and having some habits, even if it feels a bit corny at first, like, okay, I love myself, or you're like saying these things, but when you actually do it for like 5 minutes afterwards, you do feel totally different.
You do. You do. And that's why I say that to people. You are in control of your life, period. So you have to decide what kind of life you want to live.
Yeah.
And it is a choice. It comes down to choice.
And an interesting thing is every moment is a chance to choose again, right? So whatever's
Absolutely.
happened before, every passing moment is a chance to completely change your life around. And you are allowed to
To do
decide that as well.
Yeah. I mean, we only have now. So the past is already gone. I mean, even 2 minutes ago is gone.
Yeah.
So we're not changing that. So the only time you can change is the now, because the future is the future. But if you change the now, you're changing the future.
Yeah. So let's speak a bit about that quantum jumping.
Oh, I love quantum jumping.
Let's go into that bit because that's quite fascinating.
That's my fun place.